You don't trust in God like you think you do, bro. Stop trying to micromanage God, bro. He is exactly who he say he is. He is way bigger than you possibly think. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Emmanuel. I post content about fashion and everything self-improvement. So I want you to think back to that job that you had, that you were hired for, right? And they hired you for a certain task. You got the job, say you're a manager or something, they make you a manager. And then your supervisor, although he hired you, he constantly kept micromanaging you. Every now and then, he'll overly check on you as if you don't know what you're doing. He's telling you things you already know, as if he doesn't trust that you can do the job. As if he's not confident in you doing that job. He doesn't think you could really do it. I'm sure that bothered you, you know what I'm saying? That got on your nerves. You're like, why they hire me to do this job? If they believed that I was qualified to do this job, if I was put in this position to be able to accomplish this job, why they keep micromanaging me? Why don't they trust me? Why don't they have enough confidence in me to get this job done? I'm starting to think that's how God feels sometimes. I think that's really how God feels sometimes. Think about it. God tells us to trust him, believe in him, bring everything to him. But then we lack so much faith. We try to cling on to the things that we think we can control to the point that we're actually micromanaging God. It's the same thing. We haven't fully put our trust in God. You haven't fully given everything to God. And this is something that I really just identified in my life. I realized that I said I trust God. I said I believe in him. I said I believe him to make provision for me. I believe in him to make things happen. But it's like I'm clinging on to these little aspects of my life. It's funny because we think we actually have control of that stuff. But in reality, just like that supervisor micromanaging you, if they actually let you do the job, you could show them that, yeah, like they hired the right person. They made a good job by selecting you. When we release everything that we're holding on to and we allow God to just do him, he could show us that he's sovereign. He could actually show us who he is. Like, God is exactly who he says he is. But sometimes we're so concerned about making things happen for ourselves that we don't even give God the opportunity to show us his grace, his mercy, his love, his ability to provide, his ability to come clutch. Like, I didn't realize that till recently. And it's so funny because the things that you're holding on to, the things that you're trying to control so much, you really don't even have actual control over them. You really don't. You think you do. That's the thing about free will. Like, we think because we have free will, sometimes we think we're in more control than we actually are. We sitting here micromanaging God. You have these things that you want, you have these things that you desire, but you holding on to them so much, you haven't gave it to him. He can't even do nothing with it because you haven't fully gave it to him. One thing I realize is like when God says, when the Bible says, give everything to him, you actually have to really give everything to him. I'm not telling you not to wake up and make things happen. I'm not telling you to not put any efforts, because we know faith without works is dead. But actually ask yourself, do you really trust in God? Do you really trust in him? Have you really given him everything? Like, you know right now, you listen to this video right now, you know every night that you pray is this one thing that you want God to do something supernatural in your life about. And it's that same thing that you want so bad, that you're struggling with so bad. That's the same thing that you're leaving out the prayer because you think you're the one that is in control of it. You're struggling with pornography, but every time that you pray, you're not asking God to renew your mind, to change your heart. You're struggling with your finances, and you think just because you read 10 finance books and you watch all these budgeting videos, that's gonna make the actual change in your life. I'm not saying not to do those things, but how can you serve a God that's so big and so vast, but you scared to give him everything? It's like that supervisor hired you. They tell you how qualified you are. They give you all these reasons on why they hired you, why you're qualified, why they think you could do the job, why you're in this position. They're paying you. Them paying you solely tells you why they believe that you are the right person for that job. Yet they're sitting there over your shoulder, every little move that you make, trying to watch what you do, trying to see if you do it, even though they put you in charge to do it. Like, imagine it, the God of the universe, the one that makes everything possible. And you over there micromanaging things. Like, you think you're in control. I think your little effort to try to hold on to that thing is what is gonna actually make a change in your life. Like, you think that's gonna have a greater impact than you actually fully committing to God and giving him everything? Like, you actually believe that? Now that's comical. That's funny. Like, I really want you to think about what I'm saying. My mom used to always tell me this. You would hear it at church. You would see it when you're reading the Bible. It tell you to give everything to Christ. And sometimes you think that's what you're doing, but you're really not. You really haven't fully given him everything. Think about it. Have you released everything and given all of that to God? You haven't. That's why you're still struggling with it. That's why he still hasn't made provision in that aspect of life, or in that area of your life. That's why he still hasn't made provision, because you're holding on to it. You got to give it to him. He can't do nothing with it if you're still holding on to it. That supervisor is micromanaging you all day, and you have all these grand ideas. You have all these things that you think that will make the system better, the workplace safer. But because he's on your shoulders every 2 seconds, he doesn't even give you an opportunity to do the work that you were hired to do. Like, I actually believe that's how God feels, like, that we be micromanaging him. And I think some of y'all think I'm saying sit down and do nothing. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying release it to God and everything will just flow. You clinging on to it a little longer doesn't make no difference. You got to give it all to God. You got to give it all to him. You have to really, truly trust in him with all your heart. You have to trust that he's going to take care of your finances. You actually have to trust that he's going to take care of your health. You actually have to trust that he's going to create opportunities for you. We worship a supernatural God. Anything that we could think of, God supersedes that. That's why he says my ways are higher than yours. You get what I'm saying? If God's ways are higher than ours, so why do you think you holding on to something and not fully trusting him? Why do you think that's gonna make things any better if he's already told you that his ways are already better than yours? Whatever idea that you have, his idea is way bigger. It's way stronger. It's way more efficient. You have to let it all go. You can't hold on to it for so long. It's only gonna get you so far. But as soon as you let go and you let God, wow, you'll be so surprised by what he does in your life. You'll be so surprised. You'll be saying, man, I wish I would have let go sooner. Man, I wish I wasn't holding on to that. You gotta trust and believe that God is exactly who he says he is. He's beyond this earth. He's beyond this universe. He's beyond our mind. He's beyond our way of thinking. And you actually have to trust in him. You actually have to really believe in him. Stop trying to micromanage God, bro. Stop trying to micromanage God, bro. I want you to really sit here as you're listening to this video, I want you to really ask yourself, have I fully put my trust in God in every aspect, not some, in every aspect? Have I truly allowed God to have it all and for him to do exactly what he wants to do with it? And if you're being honest with yourself, you haven't. Like if I'm being honest with myself, I know I haven't. But the reason that I'm telling you this today is because the little that I have released and that I allowed him to do whatever he wants with, I've just been seeing a major difference. I've been seeing a huge overflow of blessings. I've been seeing that what he has planned is way beyond mine. It's way bigger than what I'm thinking. And you just have to let go. You don't trust in God like you think you do, bro. You don't, bro. You really don't. Because if you really trust in him, there's something that's heavy on your heart right now as you listen to this video that you know you need to be doing, that you know you need to be giving to him, and you haven't given to him yet. And if you know you haven't gave it to him and you know you're supposed to give it to him, how can you say you have truly trust, like you could truly say you trust in him and you've given him everything? And to be honest, it comes with more peace. So I ain't got to deal with it. God, it's all yours. It gives you more peace, bro. You don't even have to deal with it. Just give it to him. Trust in him. Like, I really don't know who needs to hear this. I know how this life gets, but I'm telling you, you are far more better when you just truly just give it all to God. When you truly just let God have it all and you really put all your trust in him. I don't think most people know what it really means when you trust in God. When you trust in God, you're basically telling God, look, I don't really know exactly what you're going to do with this. I don't really know how this is going to turn out, but I know that you have a way greater plan for this than I do. So I'd rather you have it than me. Because I've had it this long and I still haven't done nothing with it. That's what you're doing. That's what you're telling him. I've had it this long and I still haven't been able to do something with it. So here you go. You have it. Have it your way. You find something. You find a way to deal with this. He is exactly who he say he is. He is way bigger than you possibly think. So give it to God today.